Welcome to the Fantasy Pavilion, your home for fantasy sports.
Yes, guys, welcome back to the Fantasy Pavilion, your home for fantasy sport. And of course, we are here for the Mexico GP, hoping to see a few things. One, Perez maybe wins. Two, Max win a record win here, or Lewis finally keeping his track record of always winning a race every season. So there's a lot to hope for, a lot to wish for, and let's see how it pans out from here. Right now they're doing the formation lap. So let's see how this race pans out. 71 laps, as you guys know. Our last lap record was from Valtteri Bottas. So brilliant to see how this race pans out.
So as they line up on the grid, last row will be Lance Stroll and Kevin Magnussen. Then there'll be the two Williams of the team.
Of course, the qualifying was really lit. Yesterday we had Verstappen, Russell, Hamilton, and Perez making your top four. Really, really good qualifying race yesterday. And they're ready to start. They're forming up. They're ready on the grid. Let's go.
Sergio Perez, weight of expectation on his shoulders, starts P4 for Red Bull Racing, alongside Lewis Hamilton in third place, where the winner has come more often than not over recent years.
Oh boy.
On the grid will be George Russell in P2 for Mercedes, but back on pole position. Your world champion, Max Verstappen. We wait for the lights to illuminate above the grid here in Mexico City. The green flag to wave behind, and with that green flag now waving, we have 1, 2,
3, 4, and they're off. Nice man. Restart. Russell, hit him, Russell. Russell Max Verstappen is up. Russell's the second. Hit him!
Sergio Perez, James Hinchcliffe tries to get around the outside of Mercedes, getting down into turn 4. Yeah, he had a great run on the outside of turn 1, like off in turn 2, when he makes the move stick there, and he's up into a podium position. The Ferrari's running side by side behind him. An impressively clean first couple corners from the grid, but still side by side from the Ferraris, and further back down into turn 6. Horrible start for the McLaren.
Yeah, so right now is Verstappen, Hamilton, Perez, Russell, Sainz, Leclerc, Alonso, Bottas, Ocon, and Norris picking up a top 10. Let's go. Nice race so far. Verstappen keeping his first place. Great start.
Up Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari, desperately wanting to get that point finish and open up that gap. Alpine in the Constructors' Championship, but right now it is Max Verstappen leading that first race and pulling away comfortably. This is what
Max just cruising.
3-second lead of the Lewis Hamilton in P2. Sergio Perez up into the podium place with those two Ferraris now. Carlos Sainz and Charles Leclerc back down there in P5.
Max cruising.
As his first role of the two Aston Martins and the Williams drivers are falling all the way back to the back of the field. Good start. There's a lot of Stroll at 3:15, so that's definitely a good start to P14. I was just going to say, credit to Stroll up 5 positions from the back of the grid. He's right on board now with the
Big up, Stroll.
Not quite as strong a start, but still running nicely in the points right behind Fernando Alonso. For him, it's just going to be about having a clean race, trying to keep the reliability is the big concern. We have seen some issues with these power units so far this weekend. He just needs to make sure that he didn't risk that thing to finish, but great to see him up there.
Fernando Alonso getting very low through the sweep as we see it all on now as the last couple of weekends. A lot of flight left in Fernando for these final races, but let's not forget.
So, yeah, Russell had one job. He fell off. Now we had to fight Perez. Captain defender. Yeah, Kaiwan. Yeah. No, I don't mind Perez win. I will take that. So your top 10 is Norris, Ocon, Bottas, Alonso, Leclerc, Sainz, Russell, Perez, Hamilton, and Verstappen. Let's go. After 3 laps.
Probably to really come up to temperature now. You're seeing that, and it's really on Max to try to lay it down, get those fast laps, open that gap up. Because you're right, starting on the softs, unless they are going to be, tire magicians here making those things last, it is going to be a 2-stop strategy. Let's take another look at the race start.
So it's a decent start from Max Verstappen. As we keep live pictures on the right-hand side. The two Mercedes trying to slipstream each other down there into turn 1. But Max had great legs over the Red Bulls and Checo playing it up.
Yeah,
Checo had a good start. Perez had a good start. It's just one of those things.
A little bit of pain. You see Hamilton there around the outside of Russell. Russell just got checked up a little bit by Max Verstappen on that inside line.
Russell had a job. Russell was supposed to try and keep that 3rd place.
And that's what the two Ferraris go side by side as well. You're right on board now with Lewis Hamilton on the leading tire. It's a nice jump.
It's a good sounding start. Reaction time. Yeah, keeping with the lights apparently.
It was just everyone 5 in a line down the inside for a while. Russell fanned out to the outside. Everyone was very good on the brakes. We've seen so many incidents as well, but everyone was good and fair. And then Hamilton came through. Mercedes were fair with each other as well, really, through 2 and 3. But Hamilton then had the better drive off. Got into second.
And thankfully, no incidents at the start of this race.
Julian Palmer, the former Renault F1 driver, alongside me, Jack Nichols, and Jenny Gao covering the mix.
Each other. Nice clean race so far.
Saturation in 13, and you were a bit too fast in the high speed, about 2 free times.
Was pretty quick in the first sector on that lap, took a couple of tenths out of Lewis Hamilton, so he's closing the gap or attempting to close the gap. But at the moment, the top 5, Verstappen, Hamilton, Perez, Russell, Sainz, and also Leclerc, all separated basically by 1.5 seconds. Jenny Gao.
We're expecting pit window for those who started on the soft tyre, so include the 2 Red Bulls in that, to open around lap 16 if they're going to do a 2-stop strategy. But a lot of these people will try and make a 1-stop work for them. The medium, if you started on that, you're around lap 28 in an ideal world. But they're desperate to cling onto these tyres and manage them as best they can to make them last as long as they can.
Sergio Perez pretty close to the back of Hamilton as they come around the final corner and out onto the start finish again. There's just over a second between them. Perez not in DRS range at the moment. Fernando Alonso is creating a bit of a queue behind him in 7th place.
Yeah, boy. He messaged me and said, hey, look at this stinker. I tell you, but you seen this long time.
The start finish straight. Bottas has got the DRS open as he tries to attack Alonso into turn 1. Does he fancy the lunge, Valtteri Bottas? Probably answered that before I asked the question. He does not on this particular occasion, Bottas, and sits behind Fernando Alonso. Bottas overtaking Alonso would be one I'd be interested in seeing.
Well, you might see it in a minute. He's got another chance coming into turn 4. DRS open again.
Bottas goes to the outside. Alonso covering the inside, but nowhere near getting through this time. Valtteri Bottas.
So quick this weekend, Bottas, but he's never been an aggressive racer throughout his career.
Okay, Valtteri, we're in a very good position here. Plan A. We need to stick to plan A.
So they want to stick to whatever their original plan was. They've lost the place to Alonso. Alonso is on the same compound of tyre in 7th place, but Alfa Romeo seem happy at the moment.
And whilst Bottas out-qualified Leclerc yesterday, I think Alfa Romeo will have known they're not racing Ferrari today. As well as Bottas did yesterday, looked really quick. Their race is to be 7th, basically, best of the rest behind the Ferraris, Mercedes and Red Bull, and then pick up the pieces if anything kicks off ahead. So that's why they're not disappointed too much with Bottas being 8th.
if he can clear Alonso, then he's onto a nice run, really, to being best of the rest. 7th, that's their goal for this one. But at the moment, it's Fernando Alonso in the way. And for a man that doesn't like a lunch, Fernando Alonso is a man that loves the defence. So it could be an interesting scrap. Fastest lap of the race set by Lewis Hamilton. Gap comes down to 1.2 seconds. It was 1.5 seconds at the end of the previous lap. So on that last lap, he's taken 2 or 3 tenths out of Verstappen in the race lead. Perez still there in third, and he is 1.4 seconds back from Hamilton. So still pretty equidistant between the top 3. Russell has dropped back a little bit, and Sainz and Leclerc are dropping back further from Russell than Russell is from the cars in front. Now, there should be a point where the medium tyres are faster than the soft.
The floor of your left, doing quite strange in some corners.
And the brake temperatures. And when you're stuck in traffic and you're not in a position to make a move right down to turn 4.
That's why they took the pain at the start of having theoretically the slower tyre off the line to then have the faster tyre at some point. And it looks fairly similar, the pace right now, between the softs and the mediums, but at some point the softs will go away. Verstappen and Perez will start to fall back towards Mercedes if the Mercedes car is fast enough.
There's a question mark if these soft tyres could last more than 15 laps before they stop away. Remember, this is a 71 lap race, so we're looking out for signs of that. Also, if you started on the medium tyre, your ideal strategy is to get these tyres until after lap 50, get 5-0, so that you can then convert onto the soft tyre and go to the end. That's
your clock real CC now because low consumption because of the lack of
live. Lando Norris has just made a bit of a mistake coming into turn 1, locked up the front tyre, but he's managed to carry on his way. Latifi's just got ahead of Magnussen, so Magnussen has dropped back now behind both Williams. He was complaining of gearbox problems on the way to the grid, so I wonder if those issues have reared their head again for Kevin Magnussen. Ricciardo is trying to put a move on Joe. He's got back coming into turn 6, but he's a little bit too far back to make a move up the inside of the Chinese driver who's running in 12th place at the moment. Hamilton's 1.3 seconds back from Max Verstappen. Then it's 3 seconds back now to Sergio. It's 1.5 seconds back to Sergio Perez, 2 seconds back to Russell in 4th, 3 seconds back now to Sainz and Leclerc in the Ferraris. And that soft tyre, I imagine, would have been to gain them ground at the start, but Leclerc gained a spot, but Sainz didn't move up any positions either. So they're sort of they're in 5th and 6th, back end of the top 6, and not on the ideal strategy potentially.
And it's not been a good weekend for Ferrari. Being out-qualified by an Alfa Romeo with a Ferrari engine in the back is never a good sign. And they got ahead of that Alfa Romeo. That was Bottas, who's still in 8th behind Alonso, but 5th and 6th at the moment, making no inroads, just slowly dropping away from Russell. Leclerc has been the faster of the 2 Ferraris in race trim as well, and he's behind his teammate.
Ricciardo trying to get ahead of Joe again, coming into turn 1, still not able to get the job done. Then Pierre Gasly's also trying to attack Lance Stroll as they fight over 15th position. Here comes Ricciardo again, coming down towards turn 4, goes to the outside, and Joe is still far enough ahead to be able to come over, take the racing line and carry on his way. Lap 8 of 71. Verstappen's lead goes up to 1.6 seconds halfway around this lap, so he's managed to
Doing a good job.
Especially when Guan, you want them fighting up, leave them. Leave them. Ricardo.
First.
Just on Toto Wolff, ahead of this race, he said they were going to go incredibly aggressive on strategy if they needed to, and that included potentially splitting their drivers strategy-wise to cover all bases, something we hardly ever see Mercedes do. They like to give their drivers the same chance, but if they're going to win this race, they do need to be aggressive.
Problem is, they've got Perez ahead of Russell now. So it's not the 2-on-1 that Mercedes were hoping they'd have.
Why don't you
Perez starting 4th. There was never an interloper in the middle of that Mercedes-Red Bull fight. But now Perez has got ahead of Russell as well. There is no chance that Russell can force Verstappen to cover off an undercut or anything.
Ricciardo's close to the back of Joe, and this time he makes the move. 12th place now for Daniel Ricciardo in the McLaren, gets ahead of Joe.
Doing a good job. Just another step forward.
Schumacher as well, I think, on that last lap, hasn't he? Coming down in towards turn 1. So Albon making some progress and Haas dropping back.
Yeah, terrible for Haas at the moment. Behind one Williams, and then Latifi is the only car they're ahead of with Schumacher. So tough start for Haas. Ricciardo, nice move, but easily done in the end on Zhou. He's chasing him for a few laps. Oh, there's a little touch as well with Stroll and an AlphaTauri of Pierre Gasly, just in the braking zone, sort of moving towards each other down towards turn 1, just behind Ricciardo putting the pass on Zhou, but they both continue.
Hamilton closes the gap down to Verstappen a little bit. 1.6 seconds the gap between them as they come across the line down towards turn 1. Lap 10 of 70. Verstappen, Hamilton, Perez, the top 3.
Verstappen just on the radio saying he's struggling with grip out there at the moment, something we've heard from him several times this weekend.
So Russell is drifting away from the top 2, half a second slower than Hamilton on the last lap. He's nearly 6 seconds down on the race leader. He's still not a mile away from Perez, but there is just a gap starting to build slightly from Verstappen to Hamilton, 1.5 seconds, 1.7 Hamilton to Perez, and then it's 2.5 back to Russell. Is he dropping back to save his tyres and play the long game here, or is he just starting to lose the pace of the top 3? Behind him, he's got a nice cushion though, because the Ferraris are not quick at this point. They're on the soft tyres. Sainz and Leclerc lapping 1 minute 24.0. They're barely quicker than Alonso and Bottas. Those two still scrapping over 7. And the Ferraris on the softs, only 0.3 of a second per lap quicker than those midfielders on the medians.
Lap 10 of 71, about to start lap 11 of 71 as Verstappen comes through the final corner now. 1.5 seconds ahead of Lewis Hamilton. Through the baseball stadium they come. And
sliding everywhere, man. I've no grip.
2 seconds across the line now from Hamilton to Perez. Then it's 2 seconds. Perez to Russell. 4.5 seconds from Russell to Sainz. Sainz did his personal best lap of the Grand Prix. And then it's 2 seconds back to Charles Leclerc in 6th position. Bottas still close to the back of Fernando Alonso, but nowhere near close enough to making a move.
One of the biggest issues with racing in Mexico is the altitude. It means that the cars can overheat very easily, and you don't want to sit in the dirty air of the car in front of you, so they need clean air. There have been power unit overheating, radiators, you name it. So all the teams cautious about how close they can follow the car in front.
Lap 11 of 71. Verstappen still leading in the Red Bull. Hamilton in 2nd, Perez in 3rd, Russell in 4th. Then it's that gap back of 4.6 seconds to Carlos Sainz and Charles Leclerc in the 2 Ferraris who...
Okay, you can use overtake out of 3 as well if you need. You can use overtake out of 3. Let me know about tyres.
Yeah, all good. I've got it this time.
Damn.
Struggled with tyre life over the course of this season, so if they struggle here with pace and tyre life, then things aren't necessarily getting much better for the Scuderia.
Well, Sainz did a personal best, at least on the last lap on his softs. Still slower than all the cars ahead, but it was an improvement from him. Half a second down on the race leaders. Russell as well is starting to pick up his own pace, so maybe it was just dropping back, saving tyres, saving a bit of clear air for himself. And now he's able to get closer. In fact, just 6 thousandths off Hamilton's time on the last lap. So still 6 seconds covers the top 4.
So that's
it's tight. It's still anyone's game. It's just a little bit at the moment. No big impression made by anyone. The soft tyres are still hanging on.
Yeah, I think that's the way to describe it, isn't it? It's almost like it's a game of chicken, really, as to who's going to blink first and how much can Verstappen keep his tyres alive compared to Lewis Hamilton in 2nd place, and then what can Perez do in 3rd position? Because if Perez gets close enough, presumably he can try and scare Mercedes into pitting Lewis Hamilton to avoid the undercut, but they are on different tyre strategies, so maybe Mercedes aren't going to be too worried about the undercut in this scenario.
If they want to win the race, they can't be thinking about covering up Perez early.
Sliding everywhere, man. I've no grip.
That's Stroll in 15th position.
We understand, Stroll.
Sorry. No grip.
It's been the order of the weekend, really. No grip. Low downforce circuit. High altitude, so it's thin air, which means that even though they're running as much wing as they possibly can, the downforce is still minimal. It's also not that warm. The tyres aren't working all that well. There's a lot of sliding around. So there's been so many mistakes from drivers throughout the weekend. Leclerc crashed his Ferrari on Friday. Yesterday there was all manner of problems for so many drivers up and down the field. Even Russell on his last flying lap slithered off the road and blew what he thought was a chance of pole. And now Stroll on the radio down in 15th place in the Aston Martins, who are Vettel's in 14th. The two of them are having a really tough weekend after showing their best pace of the season last week. But he's radio saying no grip. And this is the sound of Pierre Gasly in the AlphaTauri hunting him down.
Gasly's very, very close in that fight over 15th position. Stroll covers the inside. Gasly goes to the outside. Can't get the job done on the brakes. Stroll holds the inside line and holds on to 15th position at the moment. Fastest lap of the race last time through for Lewis Hamilton. But it was only 300s quicker than Max Verstappen managed. Gasly's got another run coming down into turn 4. Tries to sell Stroll the dummy. Stroll the dummy locks up. They're going to be wheel to wheel, and Gasly pushes him off the circuit. And I think Gasly's going to have to give that one back because they both were flying off track. And Gasly surely will have to relinquish that spot. He's gained 15th place, but fairly unfairly.
Mediums.
Yeah, I like the intention of it from Gasly.
Oh, yeah, lovely.
Saw the inside. Stroll covered the one into turn 1. Then Gasly went for it. A little bit of a dummy. But in the end, I think just too late on the brakes. Stroll tried to turn in. Gasly was locking up and just couldn't make the corner himself. So that's an illegitimate pass.
That was Stroll's opinion.
Gasly has not yet yielded that place either. I think he's just quite a frustrated man at the moment in general, isn't he? He's not having a strong start to this race either. His teammates looking at the back of Lando Norris for a point, and Gasly's fighting with Stroll for 15th place. And at the moment, he's stayed ahead and will be incurring a penalty.
Verstappen's radio.
Just need to try and break this toe, Max. Doing a great job.
So Verstappen being told you need to try and break this toe. Hamilton on the last lap, quickest lap of anyone. This time it was about seconds, but need to break the toe is the message to Verstappen.
They are nip and tuck out front. Perez made a big mistake on the last lap. He lost a second in one lap. So that gap has now gone up to 3.5 seconds. Hamilton to Perez. And Russell, in fact, now is just a second and a half back from the second Red Bull. Verstappen, 1.5 seconds ahead of Hamilton. Then 3.5 seconds back to Perez. And then another Mercedes on the tail of the second Red Bull. Perez there with an error. The conditions are tricky. Low grip for everyone, even on the soft tyres right now. Hanging on. Verstappen does the personal best this time. He's 300s quicker than Hamilton this lap around, but mistakes could be the order of the day.
Woo. Pit window is just about to open for those starting on the soft tyres and maybe starting to struggle. The loss when you come in to change all 4 tyres and go back, it's 22.5 seconds in normal running. If there's a safety car, drops down to just
And remember, mediums.
Keep doing what you're doing.
If you're starting on lads, might be pressure.
Everybody is struggling massively. Okay? Use your tools, go up on entry.
Thanks everyone that's watching, comment something, say hi. Don't be shy. Happy Halloween, everybody.
Moment. I think in a one-on-one fight, it'll be good for them not have to worry about Perez.
Albon thinking about a send into turn 1, but he's a little too far back from Lance Stroll. Stroll down to 16th place. It's been noted the incidents involving Gasly and Stroll, but no decision as of yet, as Albon is the next person to try and attack Stroll, and it's got now where Gasly is 1.7 seconds away. So even if he gets a 5-second time penalty, that'll probably work out better for him in the long run of the Grand Prix.
Well, he could have maybe got him back the next lap if he gave the pace up again. Going to be hunting down Stroll's teammate Sebastian Vettel ahead. There's a bit of a gap to make up first.
Lap 16 of 71. That's Jolyon Palmer, the former Renault F1 driver, alongside Jenny Gow and myself, Jack Nichols, in the commentary box covering the Mexican Grand Prix here on BBC Radio 5 Live. 2 races to go after this. In 2 weeks' time, the Brazilian Grand Prix, and then 3 weeks' time, the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix to round off this 2022 Formula One World Championship season. In case we haven't seen the football scores from today, Arsenal beating Nottingham Forest 5-0 to retain their position at the top of the Premier League, and Man United with a 1-0 win over West Ham to move up into 5th position. and only 3 points off Tottenham with a game in hand. So good win that for Man United. Here's Max Verstappen's radio. He's leading the Grand Prix.
I'm struggling a lot with the bouncing there, and I'm getting right the curve.
Okay, copy. So Verstappen's saying it's difficult to ride the curves. I'm struggling with the bouncing. He's in the lead of the race. He's 2 seconds now clear of Hamilton. He had the fastest lap of the race last time around.
Yeah, he's not struggling too much. The gap is just starting to extend. 2 seconds now for the first time in the Grand Prix. Perez is actually, he's regrouped after that one mistake where he dropped a second. Still 3.5 seconds back. Russell with a personal best. He has got the pace of his teammate at the moment, but he's got a Red Bull in the way, and then the Ferrari's drifting away ever more. But Verstappen, whilst he's not happy with the bouncing through the curbs, they're taking a lot of curb around this circuit through turns 2 and 3, bouncing all the way, and 3 is particularly important because it leads onto a long straight where there would be DRS and a chance for Hamilton to pass if he could get within a second. Also, the middle sector, so much curb being used. The bouncing is tough on the tyres as well because you're sliding a little bit more. It means you're more likely to make mistakes as well because the car is more unpredictable. But I do think it's probably the same for everyone in this condition.
Alex Albon is hunting down Lance Stroll for 16th place, and Stroll on the radio is desperately unhappy, and that car has been onto his engineer saying, look, just tell me what to do. He's furious with them, and they're saying to him, just calm down, everything's fine, use your tooals, and everybody is struggling out there, but Stroll really unhappy right now.
Yeah, so there's still quite a lot of pressure from the Williams of Alex Albon. Gasly is now 2.8 seconds up the road, lap 18 of 71. Verstappen takes another 3/10 out of Hamilton on that lap, so the gap comes up to 2.3 seconds now. So Verstappen's starting to put the hammer down a little bit. Perez in third is 3.6 seconds back from Hamilton. Russell is still staying in there with Perez, 1.7 seconds back from the Red Bull driver in third. And then it's 9 seconds back to Carlos Sainz. 5-second time.
And pit in. Oh!
Penalty in his pit stop though, so it could drop him out back behind, although the gap's actually already up to 4 seconds. Stroll's struggling so badly that that's going to be not relevant for Gasly in terms of places going backwards, but will cost him going forwards.
Well, Albon might be passing Stroll soon anyway. Stroll in fact hit. So now it's Albon that's within 5 seconds of Pierre Gasly, and it was inevitable that Gasly would have that penalty. I think he didn't care. Frustrated for a couple of laps behind Stroll, took the place. He would have known he went all 4 wheels off the circuit. If not, the team certainly should have told him. But he kept the place anyway, and he'll take that penalty in his stop.
So Stroll, the first driver in the pits.
Looks like he's locking into a 2-stop as well. He's gone medium to soft, 3.1 seconds with the stop time, and he wasn't liking those mediums at all. But to go on to the soft, I think definitely means at least 2 stops for him.
Albon flying now in Sector 1 to the personal best.
Leaders. But he wanna catch up.
Max Verstappen's lead now 2.4 seconds over Lewis Hamilton. Perez is in third place still, 3.6 seconds further back. Here's Leclerc's radio. No, it isn't. Thought it was going to be.
Let's see what you do.
Stays out on circuit on lap 19 of 71. The Ferraris are absolutely nowhere. Nowhere at all.
Almost time, right?
Struggling so much in the high altitude.
So consider plan C if we've got nothing to lose.
We need to be careful with traffic with that plan.
PCSD.
So Leclerc saying, let's think about plan C if we've got nothing to lose. The team saying, well, we've got to think about traffic, i.e. presumably that means pitting now and going for a 2-stopper maybe, but he would come out in the middle of everybody.
Well, the problem is the Ferraris are not quick enough that they've cleared the front runners.
Damn.
Ferraris, they are not very fast on the soft.
I don't know about
weekend. Leclerc last time out had a grid penalty and charged his way almost into victory contention. Or he was right there for the podium at the end. But this time, there's just no pace for either of their cars. There's now 4 seconds between the two as well. So Sainz has managed to just eke out from Leclerc. Leclerc saying, well, if we've got nothing to lose, then let's just think about a pit stop. And Ferrari saying, well, actually, mate, we've got loads to lose. There's a load of midfielders that you'd fall behind.
Yep.
Lap 20 of 71. Verstappen's lead still 2.4 seconds over Hamilton. Hamilton was fractionally quicker on that last lap. Perez
so
still
right
3.6
now,
seconds
Mercedes
back from those
is
two,
guiding,
and it's still a second and a half from Perez in third to Russell in fourth. 10 seconds now. Back to the Ferrari drivers in fifth and sixth, Sainz and Leclerc. Alonso seventh, Bottas eighth, ninth for Ocon, 10th for Norris. Tsunoda, Ricciardo, Joe.
They are on course for one stopper, so they could go as hard as they can and try and build some as an extra lead, especially when Red Bull goes to pit, and they could go for one stop and try and be in control of this race. So it's well.
All of the other drivers in kind of up and among have one set of mediums. So if this is turning towards a two-stop race, people are going to be forced into using a different tyre than they potentially want to.
20 of 70. Stroll is so far the driver to have pitted, but we'll see what happens with the other front runners. Verstappen and Perez on the soft tyres in first and third. Mercedes with Hamilton and Russell second and fourth on the medium tyre. And on that last lap, the gap came down. Hamilton quicker than Verstappen by a couple of tenths of a second, so the gap comes down to 2.1 seconds now.
Generally, there's a little bit of signs of wear coming in. That was Verstappen's slowest lap of the Grand Prix, or certainly since the early laps that he's just put in, 23.6. Hamilton a couple of tenths quicker, but all of the top guys just drifting off their best laps in the last few. Half a second away from the fastest lap of the race. Is that signs that the soft tyres are just starting to go away? The mediums are going away with them at this stage. Still Hamilton about 2 seconds back. Here's Russell.
So quite clear loss of pace from Verstappen. It won't be long before we might go very long with you.
Ooh. So that's Russell's radio, and Mercedes think Red Bull are going to pit soon.
I've just listened to the team radio. They've just asked him for a front wing update. He wants a couple more clicks on it. That usually is the sign that someone's about to come in.
It is. At the moment, Verstappen, they don't have the gap yet to pit Verstappen, but soon they will have the gap over Carlos Sainz in the Ferrari. 18 seconds at the moment, Verstappen is ahead of Sainz. He's had a personal best in the third sector on that lap, trying to regain some of that.
Verstappen, if he carries on at this pace.
I think it was a slow lap for Verstappen, just a bit of an outlier on the last lap. He picks up the pace again now. He's 400ths quicker than Hamilton. The trading blows again, Verstappen and Hamilton out front. Perez now 4 seconds away from Hamilton. So Perez, he's still there or thereabouts, but he's not an immediate threat to Hamilton's second place. And he's still got Russell just 1.5 seconds behind him. They've just got to be looking at that gap to Sainz. Sainz in the last lap a second slower than Verstappen.
Yeah, so that won't be too long. I mean, surely at this point, though, if Verstappen comes out on fresh tyres, here's his radio.
Right.
If Verstappen comes out behind Sainz on fresh tyres, he's cruising past him anyway, isn't he?
Yes. He is. He might lose a bit of time depending on where he catches him. But the thing is, what do the Mercedes do? Do they pit for some hard, take track position, and then go for a long stint to the flag?
Okay. They should have won last week and won this week. So last week it was real good last week.
And go long.
Yes.
And I think their plan in the first instance was to take this fight to Red Bull at the end of the 71 laps, not at this phase. If they were on the same tyre now, Hamilton would want to be really pressing up to the back of Verstappen and pressuring him. Of course, he still does, but they're not about to pit on a similar lap, in theory.
Lap 23 of 71. Verstappen leading the Mexican Grand Prix here on BBC Radio 5 Live, 2.1 seconds ahead of Hamilton. So again, Hamilton takes a fifth out of him, but it's pretty ebbing and flowing at the moment. 4 seconds back to Perez now. So Mercedes are just waiting for the Red Bulls to pit.
There's definitely a little bit more sliding coming in from Verstappen. Another lap that was down towards the 23.6. And the more you slide, the more the tyres go away. You can start to have a bit of a lock.
To make sure you're not oversetting the tyres. The track's cooling.
Oh boy, it's coming!
Understeer, particularly in that low-speed corner, turn 13 in the baseball stadium, the tightest corner on the circuit, and you can just lose lap time there as well. You lose lap time, you have a higher chance of making mistakes, and Hamilton is just starting to get towards being under 2 seconds behind.
I don't remember many times this season where Verstappen has been under pressure like this and where the tyres are going and the team is saying, well, you kind of got to stay out there, really, if you want to win this Grand Prix.
This is a race, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is a race that we've got on our hands. At the moment, it's a slow burner. Hamilton not able to put pressure on in a wheel-to-wheel context, but he's there. He's still in the mirrors of Verstappen, and you can feel the pressure that Max is under. Perez is pitting. Perez is pitting from third. He's been dropping away, and as he comes out of turn 16, in he dives. That'll release Russell.
So Perez coming in.
Perez into the pits from third spot. Russell now has clear air.
So Russell
What tires is
now? Let's see how quick. 2.6. 2.6. Nah, too slow.
Perez slow on the left rear. They couldn't get it off. They've got it on. Now he pulls away. But a pit stop that's normally 2 seconds was 5. So that's about 2.5, 3 seconds cost Sergio Perez in the pit lane, and that will give Russell an opportunity to stay ahead when Mercedes pit. But how long is that going to be? That's going to be the question. And our Mercedes, no matter the fact they've got this longer tyre stint and all of that, are they going to have to overtake both Red Bulls on track if they want to win the Grand Prix today? Well, not both, but you know what I mean. They're going to have to get past them on track if they want to win the Grand Prix.
If that was a move from Red Bull to get Perez in the mix with Hamilton, it's not worked. You can just hear how long he was stationary there in the pit stop. Extra 3 seconds compared to what would be an absolute beautiful stop in 2022. And it just didn't work. So Russell is net ahead of Perez, but can Russell pit anytime soon on the mediums? Surely he has to go to a hard tyre and go to the end on that. Perez.
You see?
Busy in the pit lane. Is Verstappen coming in? No, he's not. Verstappen stays out. Hamilton second, Russell third. Was that an attempt from Red Bull to try and get Mercedes to pit Hamilton or something? I don't think it would have worked, or was Perez just out of tyres? Well, Perez was holding pace-ish at 4 seconds back. Hamilton is getting closer and closer to Verstappen now. Verstappen getting slower. Goodness me, that's one for the annals. Lewis Hamilton saying his tyres are okay. We've had a few of them this year.
Yeah. Normally he's out front of the last decade and the tyres have been on edge when actually he's been coasting to victory.
Not bad.
Now he's fighting for victory and the tyres are okay. We've heard that so many times this season from Hamilton. He wants to stay out there. He is getting closer to Verstappen again. 1.6 seconds the gap.
Not bad.
He was quicker by 0.2 on the last lap. But it's Verstappen getting slower more than Hamilton getting quicker at this time. The soft tyres are going away.
Hold on. Hey, buddy, how you
Not really. It's just, that's getting worse.
Yeah. But he can't come in. Yeah, right. He
The gap at the moment, surely they've got to pit in this time around at Red Bull.
Because if he come in and
the thing is, as long as he's staying ahead of Hamilton, does it matter? Keep him out as long as possible as long as he's ahead of Hamilton, because the gap was only ever 2 seconds. And so then you're minimizing.
Right.
Surely you're into the pits he comes now. I was just going to say, isn't he minimizing his tyre delta? But into the pits comes Verstappen.
What about the Red Bull stop? 2 bad stops in a row. One for Verstappen last time out. The stop for Perez here wasn't good. He stopped on
They all come off fine, they all go on fine, and away he goes. Little round of applause from the mechanics in the pit lane, and that was a 2.5 second pit stop from Max Verstappen. Very neat, very tidy. He comes out on the medium tyres again, and he's going to come out just behind Carlos Sainz, but he should be able to clear.
On new softs, 24.
Wait, man, it's still, yes?
That is the gap they were looking with Verstappen. They weren't fussed about it with Perez, who's still behind Sainz and Leclerc. He's just under 1.7 seconds quicker than Lewis Hamilton, so he's going to be back ahead of Russell.
And let's just see what we can do on this tyre, Lewis. We are still target +6.
So let's see. So target +6 is the message. Obviously, we don't know what the target was.
We were briefed that the minimum number they're trying to do on that medium was 28 laps. +6 to that. I mean, it was 28 to 35 for the medium tyre, according to Pirelli.
Yeah, but I think the Mercedes will have different plans than what Pirelli make up week in, week out. Lap 26 of 71. So now it's let's see what we can do. And that's not go flat out. That's not, it's hammer time. Look after these tyres and keep us in the Grand Prix so we can have the offset. The struggle, and I've kind of thought this since the very start, as Perez is now on the back of Charles Leclerc, and he has a look going into turn 12 there. Sergio wants a bit of a cheer from the crowd as he comes into turn 13.
Yeah, well, the crowd going wild.
Straightforward pass, I would have thought, as they come through the final couple of corners now. Out over the start, finish straight and down towards turn 1. Leclerc gets on the power. Perez following him. DRS pings open in the rear wing of the Red Bull. And he's closing and closing and closing. 200 miles an hour, 215 miles an hour as he gets through.
We have some Mexican fans in the restaurant here with us.
The crowd like it.
Yeah,
Perez
they
up in
just
the
cheering on
fifth
for
place.
Checo.
This strategy from Mercedes,
Right, so Checo back
maybe
into
it's the
fifth now.
quickest way to
Coming up
run the
here.
race, but you do have to wonder, does it rely on them getting ahead of Red Bull on circuit and overtaking them on track, which is probably the thing you'd say is least probable.
But what they're wanting to do here is get a big time.
Very good job.
3-4. Es eso.
27 laps.
Actually, following Leclerc, he was quite slow on the last lap, lost over a second to Russell again. So that gap is still advantage Russell, but I don't think George is going to be pitting just yet off his medium tyres. Mercedes have got to keep going now. Just rack up the laps on the medium, then let Verstappen use up his own medium tyres now, take the best out of them, get
At
his
least
tyres
not
more
so
worn.
long,
So when you put on your new tyres, be they hard or soft later on, then you can go and attack him, and his tyres are past their best. That was always the plan by doing the strategy offset from the start.
Well, that's the question, isn't it? Verstappen, his radio. Verstappen complaining about the shifts, but Verstappen did 25 laps on those soft tyres. We're on lap 28 of 71, so Mercedes really need to do another 15, 16 laps really if they want to.
It's not the first
move
time.
gold.
He hasn't had a race in his control as he now
Okay, Valtteri,
does.
understood. You're still doing a good job.
Mercedes race.
Gap to Ocon behind is 3.5 seconds. This gap is good. Okay, Valtteri, understood. You're still doing a good job. Gap to Ocon behind is 3.5 seconds. This gap is good.
Hamilton complaining about cuts in his engine. Hamilton's now done 27 laps on the medium tyre. Verstappen's just gone onto it, so I'm fairly confident Verstappen can go to the end of the Grand Prix on the mediums. It's how far Mercedes push it, basically, because their gap to Verstappen is currently 17 seconds as they come across the line this time. So Hamilton leading, Russell second. Neither of the Mercedes have pitted. Verstappen has pitted, and he's running in third place right now, 18 seconds off Lewis Hamilton in the lead of the Grand Prix. Sainz is fourth, Perez is fifth, and Perez is now closing in on Carlos Sainz for that fourth position. But this is going to be the question now. How far can Mercedes run into this Grand Prix as Leclerc comes into the pits for Ferrari, running in sixth position? None of the midfielders have pitted either. So seventh place downwards, no one has pitted. Julio Alonso's, Bottas, Ocon, Norris, Tsunoda, Ricciardo, Joe, everybody else is yet to come into the pits. It's just the front runners that have stopped.
Great stop from Ferrari, 2.3 seconds.
Yeah.
Quicker than Red Bull so far, but Leclerc's going to emerge still into traffic because they've been so slow throughout that first stint. Perez is now on the back of Sainz and needs to clear him quickly, but he's caught him in quite a bad area. Perez, he's quicker than Verstappen when he has clear air. Verstappen is not using up the maximum from his tyres right now. Russell's just done a personal best on the last lap, slightly than Hamilton for the last few, and Verstappen was only half a second quicker on his new tyre.
Oh boy, and we're going pit real quick. Mercedes so like turtles. Let's see.
I'm on break zero because of that.
Tyres, and it's a little slow, but it's not terrible. 3.3 seconds for the Mercedes team in the pits. Russell stays out there in the lead of the Grand Prix. Verstappen is going to get ahead of Hamilton here. Also into the pits comes Carlos Sainz, so that frees Sergio Perez up into fourth place, and Verstappen now up into second position. Hamilton into third. He's on the hard tyres, and he'll go to the end of the Grand Prix. Interesting move here from Mercedes. Are they going to split the strategies? Oh, dodgy stop from Ferrari. Front right from Carlos Sainz. Not going on. That cost him a decent chunk of time as he makes his way towards the pit lane exit. Only a second or so, but still not neat and tidy.
So Hamilton pitted there, I think, to cover off Perez, who was just clearing Sainz, but in fact Sainz pitted. One more lap, if Perez had it in clear air, might have been enough to make it.
Lando, Sainz will be close at exit. Hamilton
he is fitted to hard.
I love Russell!
I mean, the lead of the Grand Prix. Let's just keep going.
He's doing well, Russell, right now. Personal best again for him. Quicker than any lap Hamilton has done on the medium tyres so far. Shows his pace is there. And again, half a second only slower than Verstappen on his new tyres.
Jenny Gow.
So Sainz has gone onto the mediums, as has Perez already. Hamilton's gone onto the hard. Verstappen's on the mediums as well, and Leclerc went onto the mediums. This will be fascinating to see if Verstappen can actually get to the end of this race on those medium tyres and convert this into a one-stop, which is what they all wanted to do, the one-stop.
That 31 of 71. George Russell leading the Grand Prix. Second place for Max Verstappen. Third for Lewis Hamilton. Fourth for Sergio Perez. But Verstappen, Hamilton and Perez have all made their pit stop. Russell has not yet. Alonso is fifth, yet to pit.
It makes sense.
For now, looking at it.
You feel so right now. I feel you're going to stay
Gasly and Albon, the top 15. Sonoda, Magnussen, Stroll, Schumacher, and Latifi, the 20 drivers. So, just getting a replay of Charles Leclerc running in 11th place. He had a moment coming through the S's on his way to the grid, and he's had another one coming through the S's here on lap 30.
A little spike at the heart rate, I think, for Leclerc coming through turn 8. That was a big moment. The car just suddenly letting go over the curb of the right-hander. Caught it. Ferrari are racing no one, really. If anything, they're racing Bottas and Alonso, such as their pace. They're not in contention with the Mercedes or Red Bulls. Still, a few things going wrong. Slow pit stop for Sainz. Leclerc right on the edge there, but nicely caught in the end.
Here's Russell's radio.
So we need to go very long to make that work.
The thing is, you might as well if you're Russell, because you got...
going hard.
Just monitoring that. We got also Hamilton just switched to the hard tyre. We'll keep you posted.
Get a bad drive, Max. Bad drive, Max.
No problem. Warm-up seems to be okay on the hard tyre. Hamilton set a green final sector on his outlap.
He's not going to win the race. He's going to finish behind Hamilton. They're on a similar strategy, and he'll need some team orders, and it's unlikely. His chance to win the race is to do something completely different to his teammate. Go long, stick on some softs. He'll have to come past not only Hamilton, but also the 2 Red Bulls as well to make it work. But that's his best chance. So, and he's doing a good job at the moment, Russell. Still holding some decent good data as well for Verstappen to see how long he can go on his mediums. Can he get to the end? And what sort of life will those tyres be by the time he gets there?
Just having a look at Sebastian Vettel. He's currently in P13 in the Aston Martin, but he's done 30 laps on the soft tyres with a full tank of fuel. So just
the Red Bull, yeah.
Warm-up seems to be okay on the hard tyre.
Yeah, I think we are okay on any tyre. That is good today. Come on.
Still leading the Grand Prix, but is yet to pit. So the net order at the moment, Verstappen, Hamilton, Perez, they're running second, third, and fourth. Here's Alonso's radio.
Russell up the force. Max Sainz did a great quicker than
we are okay on any tyre. That is good today. Come on.
Alonso's up for the fight. Car's good on any tyre.
You get some radio messages and you think, to be on the end of that is tortuous. And some, what a delight to hear in the Alpine garage. Alonso buoyant today, running in fifth. That's by virtue of the 2 Ferraris having pitted already and promoted 2 spots. They're still looking at 7th. And another points for Alpine in their fight with McLaren. They're having a good day at the moment. Ocon still hanging on in there as well behind Bottas. Alonso is a happy chappy.
Wow.
The degradation looks pretty low across the board. Soft tyres are going away a bit. We saw that with the Red Bulls. We saw that with the Ferraris. The medium tyres are still hanging on.
You guys haven't
not experiencing any significant degradation. And that is what Verstappen wants to take to the end.
Well, and that's why I'm a little sceptical about Mercedes not extending more and going on to the softs. They were covering off Perez, but that's not an aggressive strategy.
You brave to it,
for them. Do they want to cover off Perez and then just focus on Verstappen? They have Perez in the back now with Hamilton. Perez has got to pass Hamilton on track. He's 2 seconds back. Hamilton can't afford to make any slip-ups.
Russell the one
but that should be chopped up with fresher tyres going to the end. So it's just about taking on Verstappen now and then hoping that Verstappen has got a long way to go on his mediums. Mercedes now got to hope that the way that Red Bull started getting through their soft, that they will also degrade the mediums, and Hamilton on the hards will just come charging at him in the late stages. I would suggest
but he pit and came back to it from first, so that's not bad.
Really good pace. Alonso.
So I think Russell just trying to hold out and fight Max for a bit.
Norris and Ocon
Distance.
That's exactly what was happening. Verstappen, he knows this game. Last year, they had so many fights.
And then Max
Hamilton,
complaining about some
where
shifting his
they would pit, and one driver would be left floundering without the late pit stop. You just have to just nurse your tyres to get to the end. And wait for the attack to come. That is what Verstappen is doing right now. He was uneasy in the opening part of the race. 2 seconds, 1.5 seconds, the Mercedes was in his mirrors. He was uneasy, and now he knows that once he's got the gap now, 6 seconds back to Hamilton. He's doing a good job. Verstappen 6.7 seconds. Actually, I think Hamilton is not going quite as quickly on this lap, but he should be charging towards the end.
Russell comes into the pit lane then. He's boxing, so they've decided after lap
And the
30.
interactive, they're real cool. Right, Russell pits in. 3.2. Oh, all right. Not bad. He'll right back.
7 seconds. So onto the hards have gone Norris and Ocon, and now George Russell.
I don't quite understand that one from Mercedes.
Middle of the road, middle ground, no man's land.
That feels no man's land. We're at half distance. Russell emerges behind Hamilton,
It was as it
behind
started.
Perez by a
As it
margin.
started. So Perez first,
What are
I
they
mean,
trying to
Verstappen
get
first.
out of that stint then?
Hamilton
He's on
second,
fresher
Perez
hards
third,
than Hamilton, fresher tyres than the two
Softs
Red Bulls,
or mediums?
but his pace wasn't
Hard.
dropping
Makes
dramatically
sense.
on the mediums. I
that
think
soft would
was
not make
calling
sense, right?
his own strategy pretty nicely from the cockpit, considering Vettel is still out there on the soft tyres he started on.
And he's on fresher tyres than the Red Bulls.
Okay, Max, so soft stint wear life was of no concern at all.
So that inference is you can get to the end on these medium tyres. It's chill.
Yeah, you kind of have to at this point. It still is not showing the pace advantage over the mediums.
So,
and then there's a 7-second gap to Verstappen. I don't understand the logic there for Mercedes to pit Russell.
It's 71 laps.
I'd have kept him out and tried to do something different. Maybe there'd be a safety car, in which case he could come right into the mix and maybe clear Perez. Pitting him there, I don't understand. It's a no man's land for Mercedes. Not early enough to go and take some gain at the hards going to the end. Just suffering in degradation, losing a second a lap compared to Hamilton for a few laps. Not late enough to put on a soft lead rapid at the end either. Strange.
Lap 36 of 71, half race distance in the Mexico Grand Prix. And it is Max Verstappen leading in the Red Bull. 7.5 seconds clear of Lewis Hamilton in second place, who's now only 1.3 seconds ahead of Sergio Perez, who is on the medium tyre. Have pitted Ricardo, Joe,
What's that Mexico
Vettel,
crowd now? Oh,
Gasly
boy.
have all not pitted at the
I
moment.
look like it'll be a lit race.
And that's the thing. Ricardo hasn't pitted, Joe hasn't pitted, Gasly hasn't
Especially
pitted,
as they
Albon
have
hasn't
a
pitted, Magnussen
Mexican
hasn't
driver,
pitted,
so
all on
it's
the
all
medium
that
tyre,
adds
the same as Russell. So very, very interesting from Mercedes, from a team that said they wanted to go aggressive. I think that's the sort of surprising part. This is a good way to secure second and fourth, don't get me wrong, but is it aggressive and is it leaving Hamilton vulnerable because he's on the hard tyres, Perez is on the mediums, and as a result, Perez is going quicker.
He is catching. He's catching 1.3 seconds back from Hamilton in a Red Bull with good straight line speed.
The speed advantage that we have seen at other circuits this year. I'm just not sure there's quite enough lap time between to pull it off. And it's not all over for the shouting yet for Sergio Perez. He is gaining on Lewis Hamilton. Last time around, Perez at 22.1, Hamilton 22.4. You can see the gap.
Ooh, Perez catching Hamilton.
Ahead of us is Lewis Hamilton, and this place will pop off. It's
Yeah,
Sergio Perez.
it'll go mad.
7-time world champion. So Ricardo is one of those drivers who has yet to stop.
Yeah, he didn't pit yet.
Still out there that haven't stopped yet. Alonso has not stopped.
Yeah, a lot of them in pit yet. A lot of them in pit yet.
Vettel and Gasly, the drivers who have not stopped. Here's Albon
neither is Kevin Magnussen. They're not really in the hunt.
Alonso, Bottas, Ricardo, Zhou, Vettel, Ocon. Not like Ocon pit. Ocon pit. Albon. A lot of them in pit yet.
37 laps he has made those last. His delta to the top runners is big, but right now his delta to himself, his personal best is a 24.6. His last lap was a 24.9. Yeah, it's decent. Passing those around as well. Checo Perez, though, is hunting down and scrambling.
Yeah, fighting to catch Hamilton. Fastest lap, Perez.
DRS 0.9 is the gap. Sergio Perez is coming fast for Lewis Hamilton ahead. This could make it a Red Bull 1-2. Well, the hard is it's not going to be as good as the medium.
Yeah, it'll take a while, yeah.
But it's just about making it last. He doesn't have to be the quickest car on track. He just has to be able to keep that kind of gap to the Red Bull.
Especially when they pit, correct.
Verstappen over Hamilton. We talked about that 22-second delta, saying that he might have to make up some on track, but he doesn't need to be the fastest, does he?
Well, the fastest man in the top four right now is on the hard tyres. It's not Sergio Perez or Max Verstappen or even Lewis Hamilton. It's George Russell.
George Russell. Yeah.
22-2s. Very close to all of the 22-2s, 22-3s. Gasly.
The hards make sense because they'll degrade over time, but they wouldn't. Yeah, it's good. That's a good tire. This is special, boy.
Two extra points in this bogey this weekend. That moves on Lance Stroll.
Right now, top 10 is Shaw, Ricardo, Leclerc, Bottas, Sainz, Alonso, Russell, Perez, Hamilton, and Verstappen. Lap 39. Jordan, the dumbest thing happened, right? This race was 2 p.m. I swear. It said 2 p.m. But daylight saving started yesterday. I did not know. I knew, but I didn't think it would affect this. So my dumb ass was here at 2 p.m. My friend Richie was here at 1 p.m. We here. So I tell them, hey, why man, you keep still going on? What the hell this? When you go on the app now and putting it on, we can't find the race. I'm confused. Where the race? It's 2 p.m. Not when I do check now, 4 p.m. And Brazil switched to 2 p.m. But the thing is, everything else was affected, and I noticed it, but I didn't think it was that F1 would have gotten affected. I didn't study that. I really didn't study that. Size. So I was here super early.
Wow.
I find everybody pitting decent, well. 2.7, 2.5, not bad at all.
14-second gap within a short amount of time. Well, here's what the Red Bull team is counting on. When you get later into a Grand Prix, 2 things happen that are going to help make the performance and longevity of the soft tires improve. First, more friendly rubber has gone down. As the track rubber's up, the track revolves, that's going to make the tires a little bit faster in overall lap time, but also it's going to make them a little bit better on degradation. And secondly, the fuel is worn off. You have a fraction of the fuel you did at the start of the race. A later car is going to be gentler on its tires. Again, it's going to help pace and it's going to help longevity. So they're really hoping that the
Wait, AC Man losing 2-0? What the hell, boy? We knew it was a hard game. Oh, gosh, boy. Jesus Christ.
Pretty straightforward. Carlos Sainz by his countryman Fernando Alonso.
Oh, Lorian had a real good start to Princely. You know, they're doing good. This is Freak boy. Anthony. AC Milan 2-0 long way. Torino, I tell you that hard game. Nah, boy, that's always a hard game, boy. And away too. 50. You have time, though. Jude on the squad tricks, everything. Come back and win.
Whatever issues he was experiencing certainly seems to have been resolved in intermediate time. Again, Fernando Alonso, one of the drivers that has not yet stopped, doesn't put up too much of a fight here. He knows there's probably more time to lose by going offline, getting his worn tires dirty, trying to defend too aggressively.
Verstappen, Hamilton, Perez, Russell, Sainz. I don't see the top four changing. That top four, I mean, the order will change, but the top four. Oh, Ocon catch up, boy. Nah, 3.3. Ah, 3.
I think they're probably worried just might drop off on a cliff on those closing laps. We're not expecting to see the Red Bulls in for another 5 or so laps if they're going to go from the soft to the medium and back to the soft.
Back to the
Yeah,
soft.
I mean, we're sort of in that window now based on the friendly data as we see Valtteri trying to hold off Alonso as he comes out of the pit.
It makes sense. Wait till 50. Wait till lap 50 and then go fit. Go real hard.
Side by side on the run down turn 3, but Ocon still has
That is not about Red Bull, you know. Mercedes have to stay on that. They can't switch. And go ham. Mass.
He's smart. He exited right in the middle of the racetrack.
Woo!
The tracks
Woo!
what would be nice is if for us to win some time as Perez. And what's up, man? What's very clever defensive driving there.
Yeah, second, third and fourth, right.
So right now
It's just Max and Lewis Hold on here. Lewis Hold on.
It's a really nice move. Very tiny stuff. Great move. Just rolling so much speed, and then here you go. He defends pretty aggressively, but then watches Valtteri tries to cut underneath.
Oh!
It's right in the middle of the racetrack.
Pick up Alonso. Now, boy, Alonso, boy. Good defending, boy. What was I saying? What? Oh, he's sliding around.
Yeah. So the Russell Hamilton
That's good, man. Don't worry.
Drop off of the medium, so I struggle to get the end on that.
I mean, I wonder, is this a typical Mercedes, Bono, my tires are gone, pumps in the fastest lap of the race, or are they both really genuinely?
Ah, I get you.
A decent gap apart, I think maybe that could be the case.
I do think there's a little bit of Bono my tires have gone going on here because both the Mercedes have picked up their pace significantly. Lewis Hamilton's set his best first sector of the race so far. George Russell set his best first sector of the race so far. The pace looks okay. Interestingly, though, Max Verstappen is losing time to both Mercedes. He lost 0.6 of a second in one sector alone on the previous lap. But I don't think that was down to traffic. He's just lost another tenth of half a tenth of a second to Lewis Hamilton in the first sector of the lap they're on right now. So is Max beginning to really struggle with something in that Red Bull? It doesn't look too. It looks like the top four is
Not looking comfortable. Oh, boy.
quite nicely, though.
You hear that, Jordan? Max struggling.
Yep.
Oh, boy.
At the beginning, while Hamilton just nursed him a bit more. But Hamilton complained of those engine cuts. I looked at his data, didn't see anything. But Max Verstappen's times are not looking wonderful on their
Interesting.
High-speed game of chess in Mexico City. This is going to be absolutely thrilling.
Yeah, lit.
Red Bull, we think, will have to stop again. Whether they go medium,
Or soft, medium soft, yeah.
is the question.
Later, we have a good one, right? Let's have a good one. Yeah, man, next week.
To get past those two Mercedes cars is the next question. All right, so let's look at it this way. Daniel Ricciardo has still not hit.
Right.
He's still not hit. He's running about 0.7 of a second off his best lap on the mediums, 44 laps into this race. Is it possible that Max Verstappen just tries to nurse these mediums all the way home? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he might not have this. I mean, based on the degradation we're seeing from the back.
That's not a bad show.
Seems to disagree with us, but I mean, he's pulling out a gap still on Hamilton in the Mercedes on the hard tires. It's up to 9.8 seconds. He's yo-yoing a bit, but net it is still growing over a 5-lap, 10-lap run. I know there's a long way. There's still quick.
It's a 71-lap Grand Prix. Max Verstappen keeps these tyres alive to the end of the Grand Prix. That is the finest piece of racecraft you've ever seen in your life.
In your life.
Fair. Yes, it's going to be fascinating to see. You need to run, I think, 45 laps to reach the flag on these tyres. The running pit stop prediction, including one medium tyre running for up to 47 laps. So it's not completely out of the realms of possibility. There, what lap did Verstappen do? Sam? It was 45. Yeah. So it's within Pirelli's estimations to be right on board with Valtteri Bottas. I'm just looking at Ricardo. I mean, he's still out there, 45 laps into the stint.
Yeah, Ricardo still out there. That's a good point.
Getting there. James, as we pull through the sweepers, we can see on the track the marbles, those little lumps of rubber. Just explain to us how they're formed and how, as a racing driver, if you have to go offline in the Grand Prix, what actually happens when you go over those marbles? Yeah, so the best way to sort of describe this is imagine being back at school with your pencil, and you've made a spelling mistake. So you flip over and you rub it out with your eraser on the back of the pencil, and you see those little bits of rubber that come off as you erase it. That's essentially what a tire is doing on the racetrack. As it grinds against the surface, it rolls up these little bits of rubber and they go offline. But then as you drive over them with hot tires and you're pulling out to make a pass or you go offline, the hot tires just pick them up. And it's like driving on marbles, which is why we call it that. And as Joe Guan Yu just illustrates, pulled over to defend on the marbles, doesn't quite have the grip on the traction. Fernando Alonso flies past and Valtteri Bottas goes through as well. Sorry, Esteban Ocon goes through and Valtteri Bottas goes through as well. Ocon still with the DRS, but Valtteri's right with him. We'll have the DRS as well. Looking to go around the outside. Cannot get it done.
Well, you didn't see it. You saw the time on the screen that Federer Power came to the pits finally after putting the quarter.
Oh, Ricardo, no pit. He real fight, boy. Oh, he went for softs. Okay.
But let's see, he made mediums last 45.
Yeah, but that's mediums.
I mean, that is like you say.
That's medium, and not the same thing.
You see a replay there of Ocon and Valtteri going by Joe Guan Yu, and both Alphas in the points right now. I mean, we talked about that incredible pace that they had in Austin.
Wait, Ocon catch up already? Wee!
Joe Guan Yu still yet to make a stop. He will be the last driver to come in to make his pit stop.
What are you stopping for? Hi, darling. Go! What are you stopping for?
From the medium to the soft, as well as we pick up the
Where you freaking go?
Once again, great driving between these two drivers. Valtteri, of course, a driver who loves this track, finds the rhythm around circuits on which he will find it very difficult to find a rhythm. And wonderful to watch these two taking to each other wheel to wheel around the circuit. Hermanos Rodriguez, he's having a little loves it through the slow speed corners. Again, that Alfa Romeo really hooked up with Valtteri Bottas through the slow speed stuff. But also not terrible through this high speed section coming up. Yes, this year. To have a qualifying lap like that, we definitely saw a lot of gains through those lower speed sections. We talked about the stiff car setup this year, really punishing the cars in terms of low speed grip.
So Joe probably no pit.
Nicely in those lower speed sections, complying on the curves, which is a big part of the lap here in Mexico.
Right, Joe no pit there.
Wondering what the conversation is on the Red Bull.
He put on the it looked like he put on softs. Yeah, he put on
The
softs.
question becomes, if
Joe.
you're still pulling out a little bit, you just keep going with it. But if you eventually hit the cliff, you don't want to not leave yourself enough laps on the soft to close what's left of the gaps.
Max Verstappen has said in the media earlier this year that people underrate his ability to keep the tyres on. We talk about Sergio Perez, Lewis Hamilton. No one talks about Max Verstappen. Well, I just looked at his deprivation and his lap time. Max Verstappen is driving an incredibly consistent pace. 22.4 for almost 10 laps in succession. He's just driving lap after lap in the same way, the same pace. That could be a tyre management strategy to go towards the end, but that is a very brave strategy.
Yeah.
And here's the thing as well. For while the gaps are what they are, if Max Verstappen comes in and pits, he exits not just behind Lewis Hamilton, but behind George Russell as well.
And his pelt. Real pelt. Real pelt.
Towards getting back to the front of this field, thus handing Mercedes the opportunity to win this Grand Prix. You know what? I saw what's coming around to hit you. I thought
They're gonna is that is why?
Anybody can criticize as being deficient to anyone else, except you can argue tire management because he hasn't had that one race where he just blew everybody away with it. But maybe he's on to just check that box as well and remind people why he's a double world champion. Because this is shaping up. Maybe he's learned a little bit from Checo too.
So Paris would have to do 20 laps to understand the way you need to get again.
And it sounds terrible. It sounds terrible over the radio. It sounds terrible on paper. And if I hadn't seen Daniel Ricciardo do it, I wouldn't even be mildly entertaining this as a strategy. But I mean, what does Verstappen have to lose at this point? It's going to be really tough to pick following softs, make up that time, pass both Russell and Hamilton to get back into the lead. Man, I don't know.
I mean, and for as long as the delta is what it is, and it's only a couple of tenths of a second lap at the moment, that Hamilton is so.
Michael, watch this.
Any pressure of Lewis Hamilton catching him and passing him before the end of this Grand Prix. So yeah,
This Russell passing. You saw this? Russell passing Max earlier today. You're dead. Nah, that's on Twitter.
Dad, I love it.
Well, Hamilton not without his problems or his issues in the car today, but he still runs P2. If the race was to end now on that 49-17-1, the finishing order would be exactly the same as it was in last year's Mexico City Grand Prix. Verstappen from Hamilton from Perez. Behind them, though, George Russell still P4, about 7 seconds off Sergio Perez. Then the two Ferraris, then the two Alpines.
5 seconds back on a soft tire. If we have anything, now's the time to use it.
Interesting. So Ricciardo, he is coming fast on the soft tire. P12 at the moment, looking to find his way back
in the top 10. Correct.
And they're going to need him to, because with the Alpines running P7, P8, Lando Norris running P10, Ricciardo is going to have to get past his teammate if he's going to try to make inroads.
And he goes shocked too.
Grab some points away. I'm going to be interested to see what Ferrari do as well, because in that battle for second in the Drivers' Championship, Perez will take second in the Drivers' Championship unless Sainz and Leclerc are moved around. It makes no sense if they're fighting for second in the Drivers' Championship for Leclerc to come home behind Carlos Sainz. With 21 laps of this race to go, let's just give it a bit of time. Let's see what happens. But I can see Ferrari initiating the switch. If they don't, I don't really see what they will.
So your top 10 from 10: Norris, Bottas, Ocon, Alonso, Leclerc, Sainz, Russell, Perez, Hamilton, and Verstappen.
Successful DJ musicians just been voted the world's #1 DJ. I think that's surprising. A big friend of Lando Norris and Max Verstappen. He's teaching Lando Norris to DJ. There you go. As Tsunoda comes under pressure from Daniel Ricciardo on the soft tire, DRS wide open. Ricciardo.
Woo! Look at this fight to Ricciardo. Tsunoda, right? Tsunoda defending him. Ricciardo coming. Oh, wow.
DRS on this rundown attitude towards everything Daniel was doing there was to try to get that squared off.
Ah, boy.
Look better run. He's going to have the line here, but just not quite the braking ability. Even on those softs, he's trying here to do what Valtteri Bottas trying to do. That's what Ocon. We don't see that defensive move.
Medium.
Medium. That base contact. Usually Tsunoda up in the air. Did he manage to get away with that? I don't think that was ever really on, was it? I'm not sure that was still running. Yeah,
oh!
Carbon coming off. Yeah, Alan's going to have a look at the scores. Absolutely, undoubtedly. Undoubtedly. That was very optimistic from Daniel Ricciardo.
Safety car, safety car.
It's such a short straight between those two corners. It's almost impossible to get up.
Oh, no. But Ricciardo know that? Who, Ricciardo? Yeah. Oh, gosh, man, Ricciardo. You know he couldn't fit there. He couldn't fit there.
It almost did look like he was on there, and fire was going back out. Daniel just got to the rear.
You have to. Yeah, they can't come out again.
front left to right rear, but wait and see what the stewards have to say for that. It has been noted that with the stewards, turn 5 incident causing.
Right, so no any pit.
The gap between Verstappen and Hamilton up front, 10.3 seconds. So I'm sure that the Red Bull guys will be happy to see the full safety car.
What the hell, right? Way!
I can see at the back of the window, somebody across I think it's probably game over.
Sooner out. Yeah, sooner out.
We are done. Let's take a replay here. You see him, obviously Daniel's not there. He makes the lunge.
What are you doing?
Was this on for Daniel? No, it really wasn't.
Nah, Daniel, we got bad drive here, boy.
Trying to make those moves. I don't want to say he's desperate, but he's certainly anxious to get by.
Yeah, that was a bad drive from Ricardo.
Let's see what he does here. 6. He's going for it, yeah. So he doesn't know Daniel's there. It's not a place you make a pass unless you're really alongside. So yeah, for sure that's a little bit.
Ooh.
You can see the damage, especially in a race with cooling is on.
Oh gosh, boy, Sonoda. It was going good. Hey.
Optimistic from Daniel Ricciardo. They're going to get to the end. They're going to get to the end on the top step of the podium. The best opportunity they've had for a win all year long. 10.5 seconds is the gap between Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton. Will Red Bull stop again?
That's the question. Hey, where your boy Gasly? Your boy Gasly. Let me see. Your boy, because he let us down last week. He 14th.
Yeah.
He won't like hearing that. He's been very unhappy with his brakes in that car for race after race. As he said, he's left to do it all he can. Yeah, and ultimately that's what you have to do is you get to the end of a straightaway. Normally you're lifting off at the 200 board and hitting the brakes. You're going to lift off at the 400 board, coast until the 150.
Oh, Ricardo might get a 5-second penalty. I need anything yet.
A little bit of time to breathe, but also gives the brakes a little bit more time. They said focus on cooling off the left-hand side of the car. So any chance that Pierre has to sort of break out of the draft and keep that left side pot in slightly cleaner air, that's going to be what he's going to have to do. It's going to cost him time because you're not directly in the draft with the car in front. So a bad weekend slowly just sort of unraveling here for the AlphaTauri driver. George Russell is a man on a mission. Has brought it down now under 6 seconds. The gap to Sergio Perez ahead of him. It was
Well done, Russell.
9 seconds, just a few laps to go. So Russell's starting to make the move towards Sergio Perez. Max Verstappen still about 10.5 seconds ahead of Lewis Hamilton as Gasly makes the look up the inside.
Oh, off your rock. Oh, too tight, too tight. Yeah, go on, Joe back off there.
Almost exactly in the same position, and Joe's thought better of it. Tap the brakes, let Sebastian get back into place. But yeah, some struggle with the brakes. Not a bad little move there from here. So this is the problem here, okay? Verstappen to Russell, 18 seconds. If Verstappen stops now, he comes out behind George Russell. There is probably no way that he is going to be able to make up the gap to Lewis Hamilton. We're running that 55.
Oh, let's see in that.
That means we've got 16 laps to go. If they come in now, it's not. He's going to have 11 seconds to make up. It's not 16 laps. And you've just seen it, guys. The penalty is coming for Daniel Ricciardo. A 10-second penalty.
Wee! They hosted it, boy. Damn! 10 seconds? No, replay. 10 seconds, boy. That's a lot. They real rough today, Gil. Because they rough up this boy. You might not be there for that. This boy, who get a penalty? Boy, he get. Oh, Gasly. Oh, yes, it. Gasly self. So Gasly in real hot water, Gil. In hot water, no, because you what happened. So he get a 5-second penalty, and on top of that, He got a 2-point go. So right now, yeah, he get 2 points. What's the word? Michael, what's it? For what Gasly got? What do you call that? The 2 points thing, what do you call it? You got 2 penalty points today. You're already on 9, so you're in 11. 1 more penalty point and he gets suspended.
Oh my god.
Suspension. So Gasly in the real pain. You'll miss 1 race, yeah. Like a yellow, like 2 yellow cars now. So the real problems with them.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
So Israel pressure for Gasly. And it was for something stupid, right? To me, I find it was a lash. He just came off, you know, he mustn't have all the tires on the white on the border now coming back in. So that was a
Yeah.
size. Gasly having a rough play. What's why Gasly play? I feel Red will go bad, mine and not pitching.
That will happen, so we can really run to the flag here because I just can't see Lewis Hamilton.
If I was them, I had a bad mine and not pitch.
Yeah, me too actually.
15 more to go. Why not just push it? Because if Verstappen stay, he will win. That's it.
Yeah.
Once he come off there, that's it. Lewis should win. But he knows that, and he doesn't want that. So he wants to be the man that make Lewis not win anything this year.
Yeah.
But Russell comment on Perez. Boy. Woo.
On the softer tire, yes, he's been running it for a while, but still, we could have a Red Bull 1-2 on our hands. We very easily could. There is Lewis Hamilton. There is Sergio Perez behind. Crucially, Valtteri Bottas currently in P9, as you just heard that radio message from Daniel Ricciardo. The battle with Aston Martin between them and Alfa Romeo, 2 points of Valtteri Bottas today would be key. The gap between them and Alfa Romeo is just 3 points in the World Championship. So with Vettel in P14, Stroll in P16, Bottas getting a couple of points in 14. Yeah, that gap up top just continues to grow. Not a lot, just a few tenths a lap, although the last lap it was an 8/10 of a second advantage to Max Verstappen.
I never used to hear
It's so funny, you keep here looking his
Yeah. I think that's the right first year. After hours.
18-inch tire, and then all of a sudden through practice,
It's tight,
well,
it's tight.
maybe we're looking at a 2-stop strategy. In fact, let's
Red Bull, if
thinking
Red
it's
Bull
gonna be a
pit,
2-stop
I
strategy
should do
for
so.
Red Bull. And then all of a sudden, it sort of flips the
If they
script,
pit,
and
if
now
Red
it's
Bull
back
pit,
to a 1-stop. Right?
if Max
Obviously, this
pit,
is
that's
not
it.
gonna
Lewis
be
will
going
win.
in.
If he
Starting on
stay,
the soft
you'll
thing,
win.
they can take the mediums this far into
So it's
the
as simple
Grand
as
Prix.
that.
Honestly, I think they gotta go buy Daniel
30 more laps to go.
champagne after this one because I'm not sure anyone would have had the guts to make that
Huh?
call. if they
No,
hadn't
because
seen
you're not attached, so you don't have to
pull
pit.
that spin
Unless
off.
something bad happens, you don't have to pit. Because when the grade as quick as the mediums.
Has the pace on those soft tires. This
Who?
is giving an impression of what the Red Bulls might be able to do
Underneath,
if they
when they bump in.
use that soft tire. Make your way outside into the
Nah, Tara, you see it, that red bumps on them. Look, yeah. No, but it's not 300. It's 300 again. I'm not doing it. I'm not saying
He could do there, getting with a lot of pace and just going right around. Well, crucially, Daniel Ricciardo next to Esteban Ocon. So if he keeps pulling off these moves, he can still find himself in the points. Absolutely, because that 10-second penalty will be applied at the checkered flag, so he'll drop down the order. He just needs to get as far up that order as he possibly can. On those soft tires, they're hanging on. He's flying. And it's such a fun stage of the race for someone like Daniel Ricciardo to be in that situation.
I ain't seeing Red Bull stuff in. It don't make sense now. Especially if they reach 60. Let me see how much it's saying.
Here's the thing, 12 laps to go. The gap is 12 seconds, which means that the 22-second deficit, it would be 10. It's too tight now. It's
Yeah,
too tight.
real tight.
It could be done. I just think it's a bit too tight. And it's a great point made over the radio to Hamilton. He's not in exactly clean air at the moment. Eventually, those cars will get blue flagged, but this does hurt his tires.
30 laps to go. Give it everything.
Huh.
This little admission as we see a little bit of side-by-side battle here. Sebastian Vettel and Joe Penu going at it again down into turn one.
Woo!
masterclass in defensive driving so far from Sebastian Vettel, but just the soft tire grip. Nice.
Nice. Smooth. There we go.
Very good. Very respectful driving. Not 2 inches between them. Just everything you need, nothing more. Another impressive drive from Joe Guan Yu, who of course is confirmed to come back with Alfa Romeo for another season next year. He's impressed so many people that have had it in 2022 with how he's gone about his craft, how quickly he's led, and how quickly he's driven.
Yeah, you had that credit call there from McLaren to Lando Norris, and they made it hard for him. Lando Norris is really great into the game. He's really hunting down Valtteri Bottas in front of him. Bottas seems to be struggling for pace, losing time all the way through the lap to the McLaren driver. He's closing in on his 26th lap on hard tyres. Bottas' tyres are only 18
Laps old.
That makes quite a big difference.
Yeah.
Daniel Ricciardo on those softs, when he starts to lose pace towards the end of the Grand Prix, doesn't have a big advantage over Bottas and Norris, who is soon to start battling up the front of the field. He's increasingly looking like Max Verstappen is just driving like a metronome, just driving to the pace and just working his way through the field. And George Russell in the same situation. He's not enjoying that car tyre. I think he took too much life out of it at the beginning. He's still quicker than the cars ahead of him, but they're getting caught up in traffic. As we saw there with Lewis Hamilton, George Russell's got to encounter this bunch as well. But Sergio Perez is right up the back of Lewis Hamilton now, and he's going to be really fighting him to get into DRS range in the coming few laps. I don't think he's going to stop either.
One driver who is pretty miserable at the moment, I would argue, is Fernando
Alonso, yeah.
His times are not looking great. Esteban Ocon is starting to close in on him. I wonder if there is an issue for the Spaniard, as now through comes Sergio Perez, just lapping those Alpines. But Fernando Alonso, look now, Ocon right onto the back of him, and here comes Daniel Ricciardo as well in the battle.
Ricciardo, the fight feel light. Don't worry about that.
Don't think you're wrong, Lewis. I do not think you're wrong.
Yeah.
Silence from the pit wall.
Yeah, boy, pit is a word. Wait. Yeah, the pit too quiet. Something I'm telling you. Ah, yes, Ricardo, come on. Ricardo, at least finish 6. Yeah, Ocon going through that. Come on, Ocon! Come on, Ocon!
He's at a huge risk of getting run into the back of doing that and having his diffuser damage, his floor damage, and losing
I need Alpine to finish. I understand this.
Ricardo being heads up there, not driving into the back of the Alpine, but he's got the tire advantage, he's got DRS, and he's slowly working his way up. Maybe a P7, but is it going to be enough time? The gap, 10 seconds, that would still put him outside the points at the moment by a good chunk. He's quick at last 10 laps of this Grand Prix to make up a big background. Yeah, absolutely going an unnecessary move. He had a pace. So yeah, definitely, I think there's an issue there for Fernando. Yeah, lament it later. Do what you got to do now. It's such a painful thing. There's a problem in the race car. You know, you feel so frustrated. Nothing you can do. He's driving the best that he can. You can see he's just sitting back, about to lose another position now.
Woo!
Here comes Ricardo on to Ocon. Makes the move stick. Lovely stuff from Daniel Ricciardo.
Yeah, you have to.
It won't be that at the flag.
I know, but you have to at least finish what? 4th?
He will. He really will. Just that reason. You could have waited another half a lap and let Ricardo still in turn 1.
Alpine ahead by 11 points in the constructor standings. No, in the constructor standings. So that's why they're pushing hard.
Guess what? 9 laps to go.
And what Alpine stay 4th, man. I want them to get out. Frizzy, huh?
So 9 laps to get 9 seconds. And George Russell now is just
I had to say.
2 seconds. So Verstappen could theoretically get out ahead of George Russell. It's not going to happen though, folks. I think it is going to finish with these drivers on these tyres. Sergio Perez.
That's a hard one, boy.
Off Lewis Hamilton now. 4 seconds drop back off Lewis Hamilton. So looking after those tyres with now 8 laps left to run here. George Russell still, it's 21.8, almost at 22 seconds as Ricardo.
If Ricardo didn't do what he did, maybe Ricardo, because he did good. He was driving around. If it wasn't for what he did. Yeah. But the strategy was real good. Strategy was real good. Come on, come on. Yeah, I feel like it's Jordan. I feel Red Bull gonna win. They're not gonna bother pitting. It don't make sense anymore.
Yeah.
8 more laps to go. Oh boy, Hamilton's so close, but yet so far. But even if Lewis went on the mediums, the age of the tires compared to when Max did it would have still mattered. So,
Oh, yeah, true.
hey, don't bother me. I care about Ocon only, so you know. I don't care. It's with him as Michael study, you know.
Oh my gosh.
It's a beautiful track, though. Real beautiful.
Yeah.
The Autodromo de Hermosa. Funny enough, Hermosa means like handsome or beautiful, but I don't know in what context it means what it means here.
Could mean the same thing.
Yeah. No, actually, I lie. She's not Hermosa Hermanos. Autodromo Hermanos are to the brothers, right? It's brothers. Hermanos. So it's brothers, So it's like Rodriguez brothers. Autodromo. That's it. I don't know why I keep saying Hermanos. Why Hermosa? Hermanos. Well, I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hard luck for Russell. I know Russell wanted that podium real bad. A Vex, wow, that's a Ricardo's driver today, boy. Tell nobody else that catch my eye. Woo! I love that view.
Lifting is not in the nature of a racing driver. And so we have the opportunity to keep your foot on the throttle, but just position your car a little bit differently. That's what he's going to do. It's funny, he went the type of line out there or that last quarter, even when, like excluding his qualifying runs where he's not going to do it. He's got it.
Well done, Norris.
Alonso definitely has an issue. He's straight on there. I think he's going to have to retire that car. As Norris up to 9th, Bottas down to 10th, and Alonso's race will go no further.
Oh no, Alpine needed that. No. We needed that.
Another expired Renault V6, so we've got a virtual safety car which can give you a free pit stop depending on where you are on the track. Max Verstappen is just approaching the pit entry. Will he take this opportunity to take a new set of tyres?
Nope.
No, he doesn't. He stays on the track.
I know pitting. Hard luck.
On the circuit.
We'll hear that Hamilton and then Perez.
Yeah, we'll let you know about that as well as it also walks away constantly from his stricken car.
Alan.
Salutes there as Lewis Hamilton doesn't hit either. Stays out. Perez stays out.
That messed up the Alpine constructor vibes now, man.
Everyone's staying out so far. Galling run for Fernando Alonso, who drifted so beautifully to AC. Puff, puff.
Yeah, but not bad season, man.
What was internal becomes external on the Alpine.
Boy, hard luck, Alonso, boy. Big up.
Yeah, sounds very rough on those down.
Yeah.
Get up to 8 gears.
Sucks.
Huge issues. It's just the frustration.
He's going so good.
Yeah, been driving brilliantly all season.
A real sorry for him. He was my favorite driver when I was growing up watching F1. He was my driver. I feel sorry for him. Latifi didn't DNF though. Big up Latifi. All the time. Michael, big up Latifi. Latifi celebration. Latifi. Stay out. I should him out and stay out. Aibo. Stay out, stay out. Ah. Yeah, that's it. Oh boy, hard luck. Well, I don't think Lewis winning any races this year, no? His only hope is Brazil now.
There they are next. So 4 laps remaining here. Verstappen now with almost 14 a bit seconds.
14 seconds, yeah, that's tough.
Russell P4. To be fair, he had a free pit stop. 30 seconds out of our sights, they could have put him.
With your safety car.
It's one of those radio messages that I always find so funny. The fact, first of all, that Hamilton clocks a little bit more of a gap. It's 12 seconds versus 14 seconds. Yes, it's 2 seconds. At that distance, though, it's very hard to judge how far ahead the car is in front of you. But secondly, you think the team's not on that? You think they're not paying attention to that? Maybe seeing if Max, you think the FIA is not looking at that? Just focus on the car and let them deal with it.
I think you're right with what you were saying there, and what we heard from George there was right as well. I think Mercedes did miss a trick by not pitting Russell. He's got a massive gap back to the Ferrari. The VSC was out. He was on the right section of the track. Could have whacked on a set of softs. Yes, that would have probably provoked a reaction from Perez to go for a set of softs on as well. But he could have got fastest lap at least.
Yeah, at least get fastest lap. But Ocon have no chance now. You have to push. Yeah, it will help us with the constructor. Right, so Ocon have to make sure you keep that gap on Ricardo. Come on. Because Ricardo on a 6-point penalty, so you have to do it.
Might be able to salvage this position. He might not lose anything with a 10-second penalty coming as that gap just continues to grow.
Come on.
He's not going to move any higher than 7, but if he can pull that off, and I think with the pace that he's got, only a second.
Especially with his softs, yeah, boy. Ricardo doing real good. Yeah, I saw Ricardo again. Ricardo again.
These two guys here.
Lewis got anything there?
They are flying on the tire. Bottas is struggling.
Hey, this man don't give up, boy. Ooh, Michael. I did. 3 laps to go.
That would be a sensational drive for someone who started on the penultimate row of the grid. He was so close to points last week out in the United States.
Yeah, and he came out, yeah.
Bring home another 11th place, another almost
Nice.
finish.
Come on, Ricardo.
The pace that they had qualifying, the huge struggles they had
Ricardo
yesterday.
7th. I want Ocon catch Ricardo. Come on, Ocon.
Having this fight being in this conversation. He's always
Ooh.
so impressive on race day. Is Alexander, but he's got Gasly all over the back of him. We will have DRS, and I'm sure we'll put the moves on him down into turn 1, through the power tire, and down the south stretch, right on board with the Frenchman in the Alpha Tower.
Gasly coming for Albon. Let's see what he can do here. Ooh. That's it. Yeah. Well done, Gasly. So Gasly 11th.
Has the straight line speed advantage, pulls in front of him.
He's trying to catch Bottas now. Get those last points. Let's see.
Rapid PA Gasly flying through from behind. Gasly then will keep the DRS and will maintain it down.
Michael, Ricardo. Driver of the day. Yeah, Adam Ricardo. You can't give that to anybody else. Driver of the day have to go Ricardo. Nobody else impressed me.
It should be sort of on the entry to turn 3 to get the car that's maybe made the move into turn 1. Yeah, gives another driver a chance to at least fight back. Yeah. Right now, Sergio Perez running the podium position. He finished on the podium in the last year. Would have to have been at least 1, if not 2 steps higher. It looks like.
Pick up Angela. Yeah, Bottas. There in 10. He should get it. Already to call it, top 10. So Bottas 10, Norris 9, Ocon 8, Ricardo 7, Leclerc 6, Sainz 5th. Russell gonna pit so you can get that fastest lap. Yeah, no problem. Go on the softs. Yeah, he pit. To get fastest lap. Might as well. He came back out for it.
But that's why they're not going to pit it to go on to the softs. It seems a bit late for that, but yeah. I think Mercedes just misjudged this one.
Big up Perez, though. Big up Perez. I mean, I wanted him to finish higher in Mexico, but big up Perez. I got him. He gets a podium. The crowd will go mad.
I'm sure, happy with the podium
Yeah.
finish.
Fourth at home? Correct.
Not the position
You wanted. Agreed. See, I now say it. I now say it. You won't be happy with the position, but you'll be glad for the podium. You'll be glad for the podium.
I don't think anybody knew that was what was going to happen. If you look at the first thing in the race, they were looking pretty. You thought it was going to happen.
So one pit stop, boy. Woo! Wicked, boy. It's only Russell pit twice. So everything was a one pit stop. It was very interesting.
I know you and I were debating that earlier. Yes. But it doesn't matter. The number is 4.3 kilometers to go. 14 wins this season. 14 wins. 14. It is
14 wins for Perez this season. So it's a record he made.
the record for the most points scored in a season.
Oh, of course. All records will be held by Lewis Hamilton. Of course. Big shocker there.
Seasons. He won here in 2017. He won here in 2018. And he won here last year in 2021 en route to his first Formula One World Championship. He returns here now as a two-time Formula One World Champion. Max Verstappen will take the salutations of the Forest. He will exit through the Pelotada to take the final corner. And as he crosses the line, Max Verstappen will win for the 14th time.
That's a wave of flag.
2022.
That's a wave of flag.
Any driver has won.
Not that flaccid thing from last week. From the Apple guy.
Is his and his alone. He now has scored more points in a Formula One side of the season than any driver in history, taking the record away from this man, Lewis Hamilton, who on the day just didn't quite have the right strategy to take the victory. And Sergio Perez will take the salutations, will take the applause of this home crowd who so wanted to see him on top.
Big up Perez.
They will take him being on a podium hinge. It is exactly the same finishing order as it was last season here. Quite a different race. And what we saw
Yeah, same finish.
Same
finish.
in a very different way.
I'm not broke. Brazil, no. How do we Brazil? Hey, man. I tell you.
Thank you guys. What a fantastic race again. 14 wins. Unbelievable. What a season. What I made that is that you.
Schumacher have 13 in a season. Sebastian Vettel 13 in
a season. So, absolutely congratulations. Very, very well done.
Yeah, I've done podium as well. That's amazing here in Mexico. Well done, guys.
Course. Big course. There you have it, guys. Your Mexican GP winner, Max. Second is Lewis, and of course, third Perez. So not too bad a race at all. Nice fight. Nice fight. Nice fight.
Indeed kept 7th position.
Will Mercedes there in the conversation, Jordan? Just for Brazil now. Let's see what they could do in Brazil.
Yeah. With
In
Brazil,
conversation.
see voodoo there will help them.
Yeah, for sure. But he has to start in like 7th or something for the voodoo to work.
Right.
Yeah, I'm telling you, because that's what we did last race. Nope. A lie. Last year it wasn't even 7, it was lower because I think he had a penalty.
Oh,
and
yeah.
came all the way back and win.
Yeah,
Must
yeah.
have been done.
Verstappen has not always had the best car this season. Good job, everyone. Great job at the start.
Yeah, this wasn't there. Well done, Lewis. Good humility. I big up. Carvex.
I think we were very fast in hindsight, maybe not the right tire choice, but
Yeah, but it really is in hindsight. I mean, I would
Yeah.
like that message from Lewis Hamilton because it would have been so easy to get on the radio as a driver and say, hey, we made the wrong tire choice. But I don't think at the start of the Grand Prix they did. It looked like it was going their way. It's just as the day evolved, it sort of fell into Red Bull's hands a little bit, and then an absolute.
Yeah, next one.
Next one.
Let me make sure. Hold on, 2 p.m. Hold on. I ain't going to that again.
Setting victory is 24-karat gold helmet shining in the sun. Let's see.
See, the more time I look this up, it's no joke. Right, Brazil, 2 p.m. the 13th. Let's make sure. So it's not the next week, following week. Right. We'll do a show thing. But maybe a little earlier, maybe 7. If that can work, let me know. Hey, I appreciate you. Later. All right, Jordan, I will bid you adieu there. Thanks everybody that tuned in. We amassed a big amount of views. Hold on. We got, hold on. We clocked a 173 views, so I'm taking that. Thanks everybody for tuning in. I find the lives doing real good. I don't know what, but I'm not vexed. I'm happy. Thank everybody. Big up Jordan for coming through, as always. I appreciate you. So not this Sunday, the next Sunday, right? The 13th at 2 p.m. Right? Yeah. Right? I'll let you know the proper time, but yeah, so far 2 p.m. So take care, have a good one, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.
You too.
Bye, Jordan. Bye.
Very much in deserves that one. Coming back to the field like that, making